Welcome back to the Non-Fraternal Twins podcast. This is episode 6, Dating, Preferences, and More. We have a special guest on today. It's my mother. Say hi.
Hello, how are you?
So we have interesting topics to talk about. She even brought in her own topic that she wanted to talk about. So let's get into it today. So dating preferences. I showed you the video with Fresh and Fit. They talked about their preferences, how they don't date black women. What was your whole... I showed you both videos, remember? Yesterday I showed you both videos.
Yes.
What was your take on that whole thing?
My take is I don't agree with them pointing the way the interview went between the two gentlemen. I didn't agree the way they were pointing out a certain race. When you have dating preferences, you can have, like, you want the person to be tall, handsome, make a certain amount of money, own their own home, but I don't think you should ever put a race to that. Like, I only date black women, I only date white women, I only date Hispanic women.
Mm-hmm.
To me, you're putting women, you're degrading a race. Like, I don't like dark-skinned women. I don't like really light-skinned women. I don't like, really pale white women. You're putting that certain person or certain color of race and, like you're degrading them.
So how do you think they should have communicated that?
Well, they can say, I only date a certain type of woman, but you don't, like the guys were saying yesterday, they was like, well, I'll date light-skinned women, but not really dark-skinned women. That's like degrading. You're putting a certain color down.
So they should just say, I date a certain type of woman?
Yes, yeah.
So they shouldn't say, well, I only date white women?
I don't think so.
I think that's fine to say, I only date white women. Like, because they don't like black women, and they could have said it in a different way. They didn't have to come with all those jokes, like right. Shaquita and Laquita.
Right.
And, like, you want to date a bunch of,
right. They're just small-minded. To me, they're just small-minded.
And the way they said it was, like, in disgust.
Yes.
Like, they were disgusted by black women.
Right, exactly. Especially the darker-skinned black women.
Yeah.
Like, it just disgusted them to even think about dating.
They're like, oh, if you want to date Shaniquas and Laquitas, go ahead.
Right.
We don't dabble in the brown. Right. We're not down with the brown. That was offensive. Like, they had that stuff lined up, like, that rhyme. Like, they thought about that. Right. They've been saying that. That doesn't come up, on the top of your head. Like,
and I know everybody's different, and I was raised to, no matter what a person's race is, as long as that person, loved the Lord and treated you with respect and treated you with kindness and love, it shouldn't matter what their race is. That's the way I was brought up.
Mm-hmm. And I was, my friend from college, she was like, with dating preferences, what is your preference rooted in? Is it rooted in society standards of beauty? Or, you know what I mean? Because society standards is lighter skin, nicer hair, I guess European standards.
Right.
And so I thought about that too. So is your preferences rooted in society standards? Is that what's influencing you? Or is it more so just because that's how I feel?
Right.
And that's how you feel. Right. You need to communicate that in an
And I think it goes both ways. I think it's like societal, just like I was telling you before, how you see a lot of football and basketball, African American men, they mostly majority of them date white women. Mm-hmm. And I think it's because, he's doing it, so I'm going to do it type thing. Or they want their children to look a certain way. They don't want their children to be all dark skinned or whatever. And I think that is more societal is what other people are doing.
Mm-hmm. That is true. Like, it was like that experiment I saw. It was like back in the day. I don't know if it was like in the 90s or something, where they had those baby dolls, and they had a black baby doll and a white baby doll, and they told the kids which is a pretty one. They chose the white baby doll.
I saw that.
Yeah, and they didn't know anything, but they just said, "Oh, light is
it's because
better."
of what they've seen,
right? And kind of society kind of communicates that to you without really saying it. It's just shown like that's just like the better option in their eyes,
right?
But overall, I think the Fresh and Fit, I think they could have communicated that. It's fine to have preferences, in my opinion. I think it's okay to have preferences. You know, if you only date, say, Asian women, they could have been like, you know, as far as a dating app, black, you know, I never heard of that. But personally, I only date, you know, I prefer to date Asian women.
Right.
If he had said that, that would have been fine. There obviously is going to be people that are going to be like, what the heck? You know, you don't date your own kind. You know, there's gonna be people mad either way, but the proper way would have been to say that.
Right.
Any final thoughts on that?
Well, one of the guys was saying was really, really dark skinned.
You're talking about Fresh.
Yes, and he almost matched the color of his black sweatshirt that he had. So I thought
Fresh.
The nerve of him to be putting down dark skinned guys when he obviously didn't look at the mirror of himself.
Yeah.
To see how dark he was, you know, that I was like, really? It's like the pot calling the kettle black. I mean,
because I remember in that podcast too. Correct me if I'm wrong. He was like, his mom, Fresh's mom. I think he's from the Caribbean. I'm not sure where he's from, but I think he's from the Caribbean. If I'm not mistaken, forgive me if I'm wrong. But his mom even asked him, how come you never bring home like black girls or, you know, girls your color? And he was just like, I'm just interested in white girls. Even his own mom was questioning it. Like, how come you never bring? I thought that was kind of interesting too, that his own mom was questioning it. And like I said, there's nothing wrong with having a preference.
It's nothing wrong with it, but when you're a very dark-skinned person and you're putting down dark-skinned women because of their color of their skin, that's something wrong.
That's something wrong, and I think that ties in with like self-hatred too. Like you hate your own skin because you're the same skin color too, and there's nothing wrong with that. But you don't need to put down women who are the same skin color as you and be like, oh no, Laquitas is what he said. Like, that's silly. That's really silly. So segueing into our another topic, we are going to answer questions that are posted anonymously. This is from a site or Instagram page called College Fashions. Or Fashion. So these people, college students, post what they're thinking. You know, sometimes it's advice on how to get over someone or just random things college students are dealing with. I'm a college student, so I thought this would be a fun topic. I'm going to read the question, and I'm going to have my mom give them the advice that they need. Your mom, I'm a college student mom. What if I had these issues? Okay. So, this is the first anonymous question. Realizing you shouldn't have broken up with your high school boyfriend to go to college because everyone told you it was for the best is the worst feeling. Miss him more than ever. What would you do? Like, what would you say to comfort this person?
First of all, that when you're dating somebody, you love that person, obviously because you're dating that person. You always want to go on your own advice. When people tell you, if I were you, I would do X, Y, Z. Well, that's them. You need to follow your own heart. And if you really, truly love that person, why would you break up with that person just because you guys are, you know, you're going to a college in a different state or whatever? If you love that person, love is love. And you would stay in contact with that person. You can still have long distance relationships. I've seen it happen. But you should never follow somebody else's advice of what they should do, because that person could end up single for the rest of their life, you know. Just follow your own heart. Yeah,
and also, too, I'm paraphrasing, but in the Bible, in Proverbs, it's wise, paraphrasing, it's not direct quote, but it says something along the lines of, you know, you should get counsel or wisdom, you know, advice, stuff along those lines from other people. Like, you're considered wise when you do that, and that isolation is kind of like the breed, like, you know, our apostle teaches us isolation is a breeding ground for the demonic. So I don't think you should isolate yourself and make your own decisions, but I think you should seek counsel from other people that are trusted and that are wise.
That have more experience.
Yes. They're wise, and they're going to give you good advice. I think you should consult them as well.
And always pray about it, too. You always pray about it and ask God.
Yeah, that's very true. All right, next one. In my first semester, I ended up failing all but one class and I am now on academic probation. None of my friends or family know, and it's been super stressful to keep it to myself. This person is from Virginia Tech. What advice would you give them? You're their mom. They're coming and they're telling you this. Like, hey, Mom.
So I would tell them, look, you always try and try and try again. Don't ever give up on your goals, your visions, and the things you have set before you. Always try again. You're going to fail. You might fail once, you might fail twice, but you know what? Eventually, you're going to pass as long as you keep your heads in those books and your minds off parties. You keep studying and have faith in yourself. Believe in yourself.
Yeah, that's good. I think that would encourage them.
And also, when you are in situations like that, it's always good to reach out to a close family member that you trusted and you know, get advice from them. And sometimes it's good to talk to other people. And it's worse when you try to hold things like that inside and keep it to yourself.
I agree.
Because it does bring on more stress.
It does. All right, next one. This is our last college fashion. Then we're going to switch into some online ones that I found. I was good friends with this guy, and then we started dating. I'm crazy about him and think about him all the time. But for some reason, now my mind goes blank when we have to talk. I can talk to other folks easily, though. I don't know what to do. So she likes this guy. She's good friends with this guy, and they just started dating. But it's crazy because she thinks about him all the time.
Yeah, but to me...
But now her mind goes blank. She can't talk to him.
What's going on? It seems like she's not comfortable with herself and she's not comfortable being around him. Because anytime you're interested in somebody and you like somebody, I know you're nervous, like when you go out on dates and stuff, but you feel comfortable with that person. Mm-hmm. Like when your dad and I first started dating. We felt comfortable with one another. I wasn't like, oh my gosh, she's here. My mind just goes blank. I talked to him just like I would talk to my best friend, or a good friend, like, someone that I knew for a long time. I just always felt comfortable with that person. Now there might be an issue because this person's not feeling comfortable, even though this person likes this guy, even though this person likes this guy. I don't understand why they not feeling comfortable around him. You might feel nervous, but eventually you spend more time with this person and build a relationship, you eventually, feel more comfortable to talk to this person.
Yeah, that's not confused. I'm looking at this question. I'm saying, well, she said she was good friends, but back then when they were good friends, why was it such an issue?
Right,
you know what I mean? That's
exactly.
why I'm a little confused a bit.
There's something wrong.
There's something wrong. Maybe this person feels insecure about themselves.
That's what I'm thinking.
Maybe they don't feel confident, or maybe they feel like they're not good enough to date this person. So,
but that's when conversations.
I mean?
That's when you have conversations to get to know that person.
Yeah,
see if that person is even interested in you.
Yeah, but they started dating. It was just crazy. I don't know. I don't know. I need more detail than that one. Okay, now we're segueing into online questions people posted about dating. Okay, this first question. What should a girl do if a guy starts forcing himself on her on a date?
She should get up and leave immediately.
Yeah.
Because when the answer is no, that's what it needs to be, no. Mm-hmm. That means it could come to rape. It could become into something more forceful and ugly that, things that she might not want to happen. So if I were her, I would just get up and leave immediately.
Yeah, that's good advice.
Yeah.
All right, this last one. If a boy should ask you to kiss him, is it right to do so when you are just friends?
No.
Why?
Because you don't want things to start off fast like that. You want to get to know somebody. Before you even take it that level. When you first meet somebody, you just have conversations, a few conversations, not like one date and then next time are we going to jump in bed. You don't know this person.
Right.
You don't know where this person's been. You don't know his medical background, what he might or might not have. So it's good to get to know a person before you be jumping and kissing somebody or be sleeping in bed with somebody, because you don't know where they've been or who they've been with.
Yeah, you bring up a good point. I didn't think about that. It's tricky.
Yes.
A lot of these transgendered men, transgendered women, you don't know.
Right.
They
exactly.
look, I've seen some transitions, and I would have never even thought that they were originally
the other sex.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, I think so too. I mean, like, you have to understand, like, when you're kissing someone, like, that brings in feelings. Like, feelings are involved.
Right.
And you want to make sure that you guys are friends. But you really just want to have that conversation first, because you don't want to ruin a good friendship over hormones raging and stuff like that. Have an adult conversation and say
a few of them,
and to say, could this possibly be something that we can do?
Right. My mom always taught me, don't let everybody put their hands into your cookie jar. Mm-hmm. Your cookies are precious. You just don't let everybody take your cookies from you.
Yeah, seal them cookies up.
Yeah.
And for the men, too. I don't know what kind of metaphor we use for that. Okay, that ends it right there. But okay, I had my mom pick out a topic she wanted to talk about. So, Mom, take it away. Tell them what you want to talk about.
I've been in retail customer service for over 30 years.
Damn!
And I just wanted to reach out and tell the American people or anybody that's listening, when the weatherman's calling for snow or any kind of inclement weather, please, please, please don't panic. You can live without food for a week. Water is important, yes, but food you can live without. I mean, the last 3 days have been hell at the store where I work at. Mm-hmm. You go into work, there's no milk, no breads. I mean, people just panic. They just buy everything that they can grab off the shelf. And every order that I rung up the last 3 days was $500 and plus. It's
Dang, people have really had money like that.
Yes. And I know people have lost power, and they said a lot of their food got ruined because their freezer was out for 2 days. Mm-hmm. But come on. You don't have to go buck wild crazy. Right. Snow is going to melt the next day or a couple of days later. You don't have to go crazy.
Yeah.
And wipe everything clean.
Yeah, that is crazy.
And rude, oh my gosh. People were fighting. People was pushing each other because they're trying to grab the last gallon of milk or the last loaf of bread. It just was ridiculous.
Like physically fighting each other.
Pushing each other.
Pushing each other. Like, you saw it. Like, they push and nudge each other. I saw it
first or whatever. You know, it was just crazy.
How old did these people look?
They're like middle-aged. Grown and old enough to know better.
That is insane.
Yes. It gets ridiculous. And it's just, and at the end of it, just like when Christmas times and these new toys come out, and you see these grown people fighting over these Black Friday deals and stuff, and people end up losing their lives over stupid stuff like that.
Yeah, they do.
At the end of the day, it's a material thing.
Yeah,
it's not risk, your life for that.
Yeah, that's true.
So I just beg the people out there to calm down. Snow is snow. It's just frozen water. It melts eventually.
Frozen water.
That's all it is. The sun comes out the next day, it melts it away.
So, like, when people say, like, well, what's taking so long? Why are the shelves so empty? Right. What do you say to them?
Because idiots come out and they panic and then they grab everything that we have on the shelf.
Well, and hey, you didn't mention I-95.
Well, excuse me. I-95 was shut down for a couple of days, and the delivery trucks could not get through. But still, they're going to come eventually. Yeah, like I said, snow melts, things get cleared up. They'll be here eventually. You know, like you can live off of water. You can live off of water. Mm-hmm. You don't need food. You can survive without food for a couple of days. Yeah, a lot of people probably need to lose weight, and
yeah, they probably do. Yeah, it'd probably be good for them.
Lose a couple of pounds. Yeah, but calm down. You know.
Yeah, you guys heard it here. I mean, this is an experienced retail worker, and she's saying, hey, you gotta chill out.
Yes.
Because you cause stress on the workers.
Yes.
And the fighting is unnecessary. Yeah, right. And guess who would have to break it up? You guys would have to break it up if it gets serious. Yes. And somebody could seriously get hurt or lose their life over something dumb. That wraps it up, Mom. I mean, I think that this is a good podcast.
It was.
I liked it.
Yeah. Thanks for inviting me.
Any final thoughts you want to say before we wrap up?
Love yourself, love the Lord, and treat everybody with respect and kindness.
Amen. This wraps up episode 6. Have a blessed day, you guys. Thanks for listening.
Bye-bye.